Hey everyone! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I appreciate the support. And in this one, I wanted to speak to you about the reset button that a lot of this situation that we're in has placed us into or has put into our lives. I read a meme recently, I'm sure you guys have seen it as well, that Mother Earth has basically sent all of us to our rooms to reflect, to think, to just ponder on what our life is all about. Now, of course, they try to, it's kind of like a joke where Mother Earth is like, go to your room, you've done something wrong, think about what you've done. But I think it's a really good thing for a lot of us who are in a situation where, we're quarantined or we're in isolation, especially people like me who've traveled and who are in their rooms basically for 14 days straight. Yeah, there's a lot of sleeping you can do and there's a lot of food that you can eat, but besides that, there's a lot of time left over to do things, to do other things, to perhaps sit and think. And in general, I have told you guys that I do spend at least an hour after I wake up, half an hour after I wake up, just sitting there and kind of staring off into space and thinking about what's going on in my life and how things are going and what is going right and what is going wrong or how I can fix things or make them better, things like that. And this has been a really good time for me because I've been kind of getting all of these inputs from my life on things that are going well, but also in a lot of ways things that I really want to improve upon. And I kind of started looking at each aspect of my life. I kind of started putting them into silos and started going through every single thing, trying to figure out, okay, yeah, cool. So I really like this part of my life. I like the way this is going, but I really don't like the way this is going, and I think I need to do something more about it, or I need to improve on it, or I need to make sure that I'm doing things in a more coherent fashion. And so I've kind of been going through my life like that very slowly. I'm not doing it very fast, or I'm not, there's no urgency to it. I still have loads of days left in quarantine. I'm on day 4. So I still have 10 days of sitting around and thinking and other things. But I realized that in this silence, in this forced quarantine, this forced isolation, in this forced quiet, basically, I would say, because it is very quiet, not only because my family is quiet, but also in general, Canada is a very quiet country. So compared to Thailand, there's not a lot of noise here. There's no noise at all, actually. In Thailand, I would always be bugged by people outside my windows who were, either drinking or having a good time, or they were talking very loudly or cooking, or it's just very loud. You can always hear something or someone outside your windows in Thailand. There's the scooters and motorbikes going past, or the cars. In Canada, it's very quiet. So basically, sitting here in my room, I can literally just sit here and think about everything that's going on and wonder, as Mother Earth has sent us to our rooms, wonder and reflect upon how everything is going and how everything, not only in my life, is going, but in general in the world. And it kind of gives you a perspective on the world and kind of allows you the time to think about, okay, so I really like the way this is going, but I don't like the way this is going. Why are we doing things that way? And is there another way to do it? And is there another way for me to contribute to the world? Is there another way I can make an impact on the planet? Is there another way I can share my thoughts or feelings or desires or hopes with the world in a better fashion? Things like that. And so it's been actually a really interesting time for me the last few days because, as I said, I really didn't have time to do such an in-depth analysis of my life and where I was going before. I would do, one-off analysis every day, little by little, but mostly I would just be thinking about superficial things. But because I have more time now, I'm able to kind of go a little bit deeper and really think about, okay, is everything in my life going the way I want it to go? Are all of my ideas that I have in my head, all of the tenets and the theses and the hypotheses and my paradigms in my head, are they all accurate? Are they the way that I want to keep on living my life? Do I still want to keep on being a digital nomad? Do I still want to keep on moving from place to place? Do I still like living in Thailand? Do I still want to do 6 months in Toronto and 6 months in Thailand? Do I still like the way I'm working on my goals? Do I still like the way I'm writing a lot of books or doing all these videos? So every single aspect of my life, I'm kind of recalibrating it and thinking about it. Even with these videos, I was thinking to myself, all right, cool. So I have some time now to think about whether I want to keep on doing these videos. Of course, the answer always comes back yes, but it's always good to actually think about it, because maybe a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, I have no idea. I might sit down and think about it and be like, you know what, actually, I think I'm done. I did them because I wanted to get something out of me, some thought or idea or process, but I'm done with that. I'm not there yet, obviously, but I can imagine that eventually in the future I might have that moment. I could imagine. But if I didn't do this reflection process, if I didn't even ask that question, I would never know if that's something that's even in my thought process or in my life, or it's even something that I'd want to consider, right? And so I really like it because I've never even thought about a lot of the things that I'm doing in such a profound manner. And I'm sure a lot of you are actually doing exactly the same thing, which is really fascinating to me, because this is the world we're living in, where people who've never thought about these things, have never calibrated their life or looked at it in a deeper manner, are receiving the time, the gift of time, which is a very important gift that a lot of people don't have. But they're receiving the gift of time to sit down and be like, all right, cool. Do I really want to stay in this marriage, or do I really want to live in this country, or do I really want to stay in that job, or do I really want to have kids or not have kids? It really makes you think about all those things. And even if you end up with the same answers, even if you end up with the same results, if the same hypothesis, even if you're with the same paradigms, you're like, yeah, no, I like it. I want to keep on doing it. It's good to think about it and to be like, all right, cool, yes. And so, because after that, you're going to sit down and realize that you're doing things not because you're an automaton on, autopilot. You're just going through the motions, or like a zombie, or because you've done it for so long, you're just going to keep on doing it. But because you've actually thought about it and you want to keep on doing it, you actually want to consciously and with joy want to keep on doing it. And that's the same thing with these videos. A lot of times I wonder to myself, do I actually still want to do these videos, or am I doing them because I've been doing them for so long? And so thinking about it and being like, no, what? I really like doing them. I really do still like doing them. And having that moment of reflection and realizing, yeah, I really do still like it. It's so powerful, because it all of a sudden you're not just doing things for the sake of doing them, but you're doing them because you really want to do them, because it gives you joy, because it's something that's part of you. It's your authentic self asking for it. It brings joy to your heart, and happiness and contentment. And that is something that's more precious than gold or diamonds or anything else out there, right? And so I just really wanted to share this with you, because I'm sure, as I said, you guys are going through this as well. And I think it's such a great thing to be able to, we're lucky enough at least, to have the time to sit down and reflect upon these things. A lot of people are still working under certain conditions, such conditions, and a lot of people are unable to have the time to do this reflection. So if you do have the time,